Once again, good afternoon. This is September 17th, Sunday 2023, and this is the second class of Creative Nonfiction Voices from the Margin. And the code number of the subject is 561. Creative Nonfiction Voices from the Margin. Last time in the first class we focused on the title of the course, and we said the texts that we have in this course, they are essays. All of them are essays. So the genre of the readings is essay. But the essays have categories. For example, an essay can be narrative. An essay can be descriptive. An essay can be in the form of a memoir. An essay can be in the form of an argument. Right? So the broader genre is essay, but there are other modes of writing. When I say modes of writing, I mean the purpose of writing. What are the different modes of writing? A piece of writing can have narrative mode. It may tell a story. A piece of writing can have descriptive mode. It may vividly describe a scene. A piece of writing may describe a process of doing something. That becomes a process essay. A piece of writing can give example of something. That becomes illustrative writing. A piece of writing can explain something. That becomes explanatory writing. Likewise, we have cause and effect writing. We have comparison contrast writing. We have argumentative writing. We have persuasive writing. We have analytical writing. We have memoirs. There are a number of more than 15, 20 modes of writing. But all these writings in our course, their structure, their genre is that of the essay. That of the essay. What is an essay? Montaigne, the French thinker, defines essay as a loose sally of the mind. Loose sally of the mind means the mind, the imagination, plays on a subject and the essay is born. So an essay is a medium length piece of writing on any topic. You can write an essay on almost anything, and it can have short length of 1 page to medium length of 10-15 pages. But there is an essay containing 400 pages. That's not an essay, but it is named an essay. John Locke's book, An Essay on Human Understanding, has almost 400 pages. That's not an essay, but he named it as an essay. That's a treatise. When the essay becomes quite longer, we call it as a treatise. And also understand that essays are written in prose form. They are not written in poetic form. Okay. So I was talking about the modes of writing in this course and the genre of the writing. I said modes are different. Genre is one, the essay. Then we talked about non-fiction. We said these are about real people, real place, and real event. Then we said they express the ideas and concerns of the people who are not at the center, who are not in power, who do not have any representation, who do not have any prerogative. For example, most of the authors in the course are women. Some of the authors are foreign immigrants in America. Some of the authors are Native Americans. None of the authors is white European male, because we call the white European male the typical canonical author, right? Okay, this is what we did in the previous class. Today my plan is we will read the first essay in our course in Unit 1. So the essay that we'll read today in our course is in Unit 1, not Unit 1, actually 2. And if you see, the theme of Unit 2 is people, places, and the environment. People, places, and the environment. This is the theme. And under this theme, we have 4 or 5 essays. And the first essay that we're going to study is Coming Home Again. Okay, let me write here. Coming Now, I desperately need the projector. Earlier somebody said it doesn't work. I need the projector because I brought some material to show you. And showing that material will help you understand. But I don't know whether we can use it. Leave that, no problem. Look, I need to show you the cover of the magazine where this essay was published. I feel frustrated in this class because I cannot show it. If you do not see this cover of the magazine, you won't understand the point I'm making. Somebody can help me to connect the projector if you know. Someone can connect the projector. If you connect, I'll try to show you. Okay. God, it is so disappointing. Learn it. If you do it, you will know. Not this one, not this one. This is VGA cable. There is HDMI cable. This one, I guess. Or maybe a longer cable, I guess. Check. See if this one works. I don't know. Yes.
So does it require like wire?
Power cable. It requires power cable. Okay, let's use.
So, actually we have a solution to this. I mean, in the first semester, we used to go to MPhil class that clocked out to take one of our classes in projector. So we can do that.
See, I'm a teacher, I do what they tell me. They said, teach in this room, I'm teaching here. If you are there, I will come where you are. I came here because you were here.
I just went to the classes during the break. There's classes running during.
If you are there, I'll be there.
Okay.
You are here, so I'm here.
We will talk then.
Okay, so if you are there, I'll be there. No doubt, those rooms have better facilities, I know. We can use projector better there, I understand. I'm trying to place it here, no I can't. Oh God, yes. Thank you, thank you. It is so frustrating. Okay. So, let's use this framework to read the essay. And let's develop a way of reading these essays one by one. So let me open the first essay. So let's ask the question. We have the essay here, right? And we have the text or the essay. And the method of reading this essay, we call rhetorical analysis. We call rhetorical analysis. How we read these essays is known as the rhetorical analysis. Are you clear? Okay. If you understand this concept of rhetorical analysis, you will be better able to read these essays properly. So let's focus on this concept of rhetorical analysis. So the word rhetorical comes from the word rhetoric. Okay? And the word rhetoric comes from the word rhetor. And the word rhetor, R-H-E-T-O-R, means a speaker. Right now in this class, your teacher is a rhetor. He is speaking. So we have the speaker or rhetor. Now, the rhetor is of two types. One is implied rhetor, I-M-P-L-I-E-D, imply. If you imply, you are not saying it directly, you are saying it indirectly. When you say things indirectly, you imply. You say one thing, but you mean something different. Some people understand your implication. Some people may not understand your implication or what you mean. The other rhetor is actual rhetor, real rhetor. For example, this person standing and speaking in front of you is your teacher. He is your teacher. So this rhetor is a teacher. This rhetor is a lecturer. This rhetor is a lecturer. I am standing here with the authority of a teacher of the department. I am standing here with the authority of the teacher of the university. She said she wants to leave earlier. I said, no, you can't. Look, my authority. If I was not a teacher with this identity card, for example, given by the university, here is my ID card given by the university, I will not be able to tell her, no, you cannot go. And she obeys with respect, and she says, sir, can I ask the department? Because she accepts my authority. Right? So that's implied rhetor. I am the teacher, lecturer with the authority, with the capacity to teach you, with the ability to teach you. When I leave this room and I go in the street, I become an uncle. Someone calls me uncle, yeah, unusta, I become uncle. And when I reach home and enter the gate, I become Garbetiba for the tenants. They call me Garbetiba. And as I reach my flat and meet my wife, I become Raja. That's the name she calls me with. So my identity keeps changing as I change my role and location. This is implied identity, not actual. Now, what is actual identity? Actual rhetor is Divakar Upadhyay Aryal, TU ID number 457. Right? From Parvat, born 2026. You all have that legal documentary identification. I must produce my driving license when I go to bank. They say, give me your ID card. So that's the actual speaker, actual rhetor. And there is implied rhetor. Now, let's apply this idea to this essay. We have this essay, coming home again. There is a photograph. Your book does not have one. Does your book have photograph? No. I collected because I love knowing about the author. You don't like, so you don't collect. You don't care. I wanted to see how does this guy named Chang Rae Lee looks. So I Googled and found the photograph and put there. You don't care, so you don't look, right? You don't care. So we have the photograph of a real person. And there is a real name, Chang Rae Lee. So the actual rhetor of this essay is Chang Rae Lee, Korea-born American gentleman who came to America with his parents when he was around 3 years old. Chang Rae Lee, actual, a person. The implied rhetor is, now look, the moment we start reading, you know what is implied rhetor. For example, let me show you an example. How to find out what is, look here. You read the first line and you know the rhetor, implied rhetor. It says, when my mother began using the electronic pump that fed her liquids and medication, we moved her to the family room. First sentence. That's enough. Stop. You can know it. Question is, who is the implied rhetor? Implied speaker. So the speaker is saying, my mother. So when someone says, my mother, who is the speaker? A son or a daughter. But you can find out whether this is a son or daughter because somewhere somebody is addressing him with a pronoun. So if they are calling him with her, daughter. If they are calling him with he, son. I have taught this essay multiple times. I know it's a son. You are doing for the first time, so you are guessing it might be daughter. You are right. Now look, what is implied rhetor? The role that the actual rhetor takes in the story. Implied rhetor is the rhetor created by the text. Implied rhetor is the rhetor that the writing creates. An actual rhetor is that rhetor who has the copyright authority. If you violate the copyright authority of this writing, Chang Rae Lee will sue you in the court, not this son. So did you understand now the implied rhetor versus real rhetor? So real rhetor or actual rhetor is the author, Chang Rae Lee. Now there is a third possibility. Sometimes the implied rhetor and the actual rhetor are different. They are not same. Sometimes the implied rhetor and the actual rhetor are the same. Sometimes they are different. The real person has quite another name there, another role. Sometimes they are same. So what did I do? I began by saying that we have a text. Then I said, we need to read this text. Then I said, there is a special way of reading this text. Then I said, that way of reading this text in our paper is known as rhetorical analysis. And rhetorical analysis is a very important method of textual analysis. There are many other ways of analyzing a piece of text. One of the ways of analyzing a piece of writing is known as rhetorical analysis. Then I said, to know what is rhetorical analysis, you must focus on the two words rhetorical and analysis. Right now I am focusing on the first word, rhetorical. Rhetorical is adjective, right? That is derived from the noun rhetoric. And the noun rhetoric is probably derived from the noun rhetor, personal noun, rhetor not personal, rhetor speaker. In ancient Greek time, those people who spoke, who participated in public debate, those people who participated in public debate, they were known as the rhetoricians. They were known as the rhetorician, a good speaker, a skilled speaker. Every speaker is a rhetorician. This gentleman is an academic rhetorician. You have a legal rhetorician at the court. So rhetoric speaker, right? And then we said rhetors are of two types, the actual and the implied. Now once you know what is a rhetor, now we have done analyzing this. Now we are moving to second element.
Sir,
Yes.
in this text, had there been a detailed account of the speaker, like his name, his every detail, like you have stated there, would he have been the actual rhetoric or not?
Sometimes the real person who wrote a text uses his own real name in the text. So we have actual rhetor. But keep in mind that this essay has another category of writing. This essay is a narrative. This essay is a narrative. That means there is a story here. And a narrative is where someone tells us a story. Stories are about the past. Stories are about the past. So this text is a memoir. This text is a memoir. We said this is creative nonfiction. We said this is creative nonfiction. So Chang Rae Lee is telling about his real mother, but he does not name himself as Chang Rae Lee in the essay. He names himself as a son. So whose viewpoint is in the narrative? A son's viewpoint. Through whom are we seeing the events? Through the eyes of the son. Whose perspective is in the story? A son's perspective. Just imagine this story was being told by the mother. Then it will have another viewpoint. So it is one of the characters in the narrative, one of the characters from the world of the fiction that is telling us the story. So as you said, what would happen if instead of son we are the name? then we will call that actual rhetor. Okay. After slightly talking about the rhetor, I'll move to the next element, the speech, or yes, the speech. We have the text, so we have a rhetor of the text, now speech. Every time you have a speaker or a writer, they speak something, they write something, they say something, they convey a message. Why do people write? Because people feel like talking to people. Why do people like write? People are like us. We can't help talking. Do you realize? We talk a lot. We talk a lot. When we find no one, we write diaries and talk. Talking is in our nature. We have conversations. So Chang Rae Lee wrote because he felt like talking to people. So when you read these essays, just imagine a guy sitting over there and he is willing to tell you something and you join the conversation, you listen to him. And not only listen to him, you talk to him, you respond. So that is what we call joining the conversation. These writings are conversations where some people are talking to some people about something. And we by chance have come to listen to them. So we have the message, the speech. For example, this text, this speech is about a mother. And the title of this speech is Coming Home. Oh, again is there? Oh, again is there. What is the difference in saying just coming home and coming home again? That is called presupposition in critical stylistics. When you say coming home, you don't know if he had come earlier. But when you say coming home again, you presuppose that this narrator had come home before also. And this is at least second time, third time, fourth time. Coming home again. Now when you read the title, Coming Home Again, look, home and house. He didn't give the title as Coming House Again. There will be a lot more difference in saying coming to a house and coming to a home. There's a way difference between home and house. House is a technical place where you can get shelter. Home is an emotional place. My heart is your home. You can live as long as you like. But you never say, my heart is your house. You can live as long as you like. You never say. Home has connotative meaning. Home has connotative meaning. It has emotional appeal. And home connotes, or home implies the people living in it. Home implies father. Home implies mother. Home implies children. Home implies the people in it. House does not imply the people. Home implies chalis katesi ramaula suna saili or maili, I don't know. That's what home implies. The pain of separate being away from the wife and husband. That is home. Coming home. Look, it's not going home. It's not going home. See the viewpoint. Look, from when this rhetor is giving this speech, this is the home. And when he is speaking, he is in the home. He is in the home. That is why he says coming home. If he was not in the home, he was elsewhere traveling home, then he would write going home again. This is how we read. Close reading. Paying close attention to each word and meaning. Spending time, which you don't like. You need ready-made tablets. Swallow and pass exam. Right? And get degree. And go to South Korea, North Korea. Kidding, I'm kidding. I mean, if you don't work hard, education has no meaning. Okay, leave that. So, coming home again. And I was saying that there is a speech, there is a message. The writer is trying to say something about someone to someone. So, there is someone, a son, talking about someone, a mother, a son is talking about a mother to someone. Now, I don't know who this someone is. I don't know. You tell me. Okay. Now, to answer that question, the third someone, you have to know something else. To answer that third question, you have to know the forum. Forum. What do you call forum? What is a forum? A place where something is located. I'm on the forum, teachers forum. I step down the forum. A place. Right. So where was this essay originally published? Let me show. How I wish we had a good projector, how I wish it was clearer, and such things make me feel quite depressing. Really depressing. You want to do something and you cannot do. We need a better projector, we need a better display board. I told you this morning I was teaching in a smart board, right? And there is a difference of Akash and Patal. And this is depressing. Okay, leave that. So, this is the cover of that issue. The October 16, 1995 issue of the magazine, The New Yorker. So, this essay was published in New York? New York. Actual name is The New York, then New Yorker. What is the difference? What is the difference between saying New York and New Yorker? What is the difference? What is the difference in saying Bhaktapur and Bhaktapure? Palpa and Palpali? When you say Palpa, you are talking about a place, geography. But when you say Palpali, you are talking about a way of life. You are talking about a way of life. When you say Bhaktapure, you are talking about a way of life. But when you say Bhaktapur, you are talking about location. It's very important. It's important. Why it's important? Because if you understand the nature of the forum where this essay was published, you will better understand the nature of the audience. Because the third someone is the audience. The third someone is audience. So, a son is telling the story of his mother to the people of New York. To the people of New York. And this hints one more thing. You can easily guess. If Chang Rae Lee is telling the story of his mother to the people of New York, where do you think he was living when he wrote this story?
New York?
He was living in New York. If I live in Kathmandu, probably I won't publish my story from Bangalore. I'll most probably publish my story from a local newspaper, local magazine. Another thing, the New Yorker is not a newspaper. It's not a newspaper. It's a magazine. It's a magazine. I wish we had online dictionary and to show you the meaning of magazine. What does magazine mean? Let me check my mobile dictionary and read the meaning. If we know the meaning of the word magazine, we'll understand some more things. Look how we read. We go word by word, word by word. We go layer by layer, deeper by deeper. Okay. Let's check the word magazine. Okay, here we go. Just a minute. Don't worry, I will leave before your time ends. Don't worry. I know you don't have time for study. These days, the irony is, university students don't have time for study. They are busy having job, right? It's a reality. We have to earn. We need to earn. I understand. I do realize. When I was doing my MA in second year, I also had a job. And I could not come to class. That's a bitter reality. So magazine is a print periodical. Periodical is a magazine that published at an interval of certain period. A print periodical containing miscellaneous pieces. It has pieces of writing on different subjects, such as articles, stories, poems, and often illustrated. It means it has pictures. A fashion magazine, for example, a gardening magazine, for example, such a periodical published online, or a similar section of a newspaper, usually appearing on Sunday. Okay, a place where goods are then. The contents of a magazine. Okay, now I read this definition of the word magazine to make you understand the nature of this forum. So that means this forum had variety of writings, right? Do you think the primary audience or readers of this magazine were university students? No. Magazines are not primarily targeted at intellectual reading university people. They are targeted at middle class average people. Magazines are read outside the academy. You read a magazine while waiting for a bus. You read a magazine while traveling by a train. You read a magazine when you get bored at home reading your course book. You read a magazine when you go picnic to pass time, let's say. You read a magazine when on Sunday, Saturday, holiday. So magazines contain writings about family and life. It's important to understand these things because that will tell you the nature of this essay. Okay, so a son is telling the story. You want to go? What's your name? Pardon? Sujata Pokhrel. Go. A son is telling the story of his mother to the people of New York. To the people of now, Chang Rae Lee is a teacher of creative writing. In truth, he is a teacher. He teaches writing. Now the question comes, why does someone write something? Okay, why will someone want to communicate? Yeah?
Ideas, innovative ideas or something.
To express idea?
Yes.
Okay, now we need to understand another term that is called exigence. In rhetorical analysis, the idea of exigence is central. What is exigence? The demand that motivated the writer to write this memoir.
Is it intention?
The demand or the problem or the reason or the purpose which motivated Chang Rae Lee to write this story. Now let me tell you. In October 16, 1995, the New Yorker magazine requested its regular columnist writers to write on a particular theme. The editors gave a single theme to many writers. Because every issue of New Yorker focuses on a particular theme, and almost all writings will revolve around that theme. And the theme for October 16 issue was the theme for, look here, see the magazine cover. It tells you the issue. What is given there? Technology, right? Technology. We have no light, right? And you cannot see. Oh God. I love experimenting in the classroom. I love teaching in new ways. I love using technology. And when I cannot do these things, I feel depressed. It was a home issue. So the theme of this issue was home. The editors told the authors to write on home. So what was the theme of this edition? Home. So Chang Rae Lee was especially commissioned, requested, told to write about home. He could have written on any other topic, but he was told, no sir, please, this time write about home. And he wrote about home. For example, look, some other essays in the same magazine, same edition, where one essay was, No Place Like Home. It was about modern life in New York. In the same magazine, there was another essay, No Place Like Home by Nancy Franklin. The next essay was Homecoming, the life of a house. What was the next essay? Homecoming by Jamaica Kincaid. I think it's an author of color, Jamaica Kincaid. She contributed an article, Homecoming. The next essay that was published was Coming Home Again. The next text published was The Eerie Allure of Abandoned Houses. last year by Joyce Carol Oates. Last year, I went to India and visited the town where I had spent first 20 years of my life. And I had been in that place after almost 25 years. I had left that place in 1990. And I went there in 2021. So 30 years. And I don't have photographs. I would like to show you exactly this. All the houses were destroyed. I looked for the house of my girlfriend. It was there. The door had gone, but the frame was there. The windows had gone, the frame was there. The roof had gone, the walls were there. I stood solemnly in front of the door and imagined her standing and looking at me after 30 years. I had no idea where she is now because we left each other in 1987, May 20. After that, we never met again. I left the place, she left the place, because our parents left the place. The eerie allure of abandoned houses. The house had been abandoned, but it contained memories. I came across another house where I had a second girlfriend with whom I used to play badminton. And the lawn where I played badminton, there was a tall hashish grass. Snakes were crawling around. It looked like a jungle, but I had the memories. All these writings are memoirs. All these are memoirs, where writers are celebrating the memories of past places, past people, and past events. What's the time? I must attend your concern. It's 1:49. I will leave the class at 2. I'll leave 15 minutes before for your service. Because I know you cannot stay till 2:25, 2:15. Okay. So what I was explaining, I talked about someone, a son, writing about someone, a mother, telling to someone, the New Yorker people, in a magazine, the New Yorker, published October 16 issue, weekly magazine, published every week, I guess, in 1995. And the theme of that issue was home. And as I teach this essay, I recall my mother. My parents had come to my home 10 days before. They lived for 1 week and they left about 3 days before. Now I recall how my mother would make me gobi ka pakoras and Nestle milk tea. And I will come from school, class 6 child, running, hopping with my bag. My mom will be waiting for me. But when I came, she will take up my clothes, change my clothes. She will show her affection and she will give me the tea and the pakoda to eat. She will knit sweaters for me. She will knit woolen caps for me. How much she loved as a child. Reading this essay, teaching the essay, I keep myself in his place. And as I read about his mother, I recall my mother. As you read this essay, I have an assignment for you. Write a memoir about your mother and bring it to class. Yeah. Write a memoir about your mother and bring it to class. That's the assignment. Okay, let's move ahead. We have electricity now. Let me show you certain illustrations. It's very important that you see the cover of the magazine. Otherwise, you will not get the point. That's why I need the projector. I'm turning it on. Yes. So, oh God. I cannot show you. Can you see what is there? I wish we had a projector with better visibility. You have a father. Oh, over there? You will not see anything at all, I guess. No.
Oh yes, we can see that.
Okay. So see, there is a father,
Yes.
there is a mother,
Yes, sir.
there is a baby,
Yes, sir.
they are on the bed,
Yes.
they have a cup of tea,
Yes, sir.
having breakfast.
Yes, sir.
And if you see carefully in the original, the face of this man is not European white. This is the face of an immigrant, ethnic face. The person portrayed is not European male. This is an immigrant. And all the writers are immigrant writers. That means this issue was raising the voice of the margins. The authors in this issue were from the margin. They were not white European males. If you go down, here is a woman, child. She is serving tea to the husband. Second essay, no place like home. Somebody is at home, lying on the sofa and reading at home. There is third essay, homecoming, life of a house. See, a couple is sitting at the lawn in Sri Lanka, maybe, or Africa, I don't know. They left the house long ago, they went back, and they took a photograph in front of their house. Then you have coming up again. It's important. Look, what is there? In Chang Rae Lee's essay, the photograph was more than 15 dishes. Because in this memoir, Chang Rae Lee remembers how his mother prepared dozens of delicious dishes for him. And how today the same mother has got cancer, is in the third stage of cancer. She cannot eat anything, she cannot easily swallow food, and today Chang Rae Lee is making the same dishes for her that she made for him. And the tragedy is that he spends hours with his sister making the dishes, and the mother tries to eat and cannot because she has cancer. She has cancer and she cannot eat. Okay, now let me come to the essay. Okay, some information. Published in the print edition of October 16, 1995 issue, Chang Rae Lee teaches creative writing at Stanford. My Year Abroad is latest novel, Chang Rae Lee Coming Home Again. Here is my note. Okay, yes. The photograph, you can see the ethnic background. The author is has ethnic background. He belongs to the migrant community or immigrant, let's say, immigrant community. Okay. Now, in rhetorical reading, there is something called rhetorical reading. Or reading rhetorically. When I say reading rhetorically, what do we mean? Now let me explain that to you. We have 5 minutes time. After that, I'll stop the moment you say, let's stop, sir. Okay? This is Ganatantra and teachers have no authority, right? Don't get angry. My habit is I do a lot of jokes and kidding in class, right? We have to obey your command. You have no time, so we have to leave the classes before actual time. Okay. Leave. I don't know. I'm recording, and if people listen to me on the channel, I don't know what they will think of me, right? I should be careful about what I say, right? Okay. Okay. Let's say reading rhetorically. When you read these essays or any other essays, there are two things we can do. What? As you read the essay, ask a question. What does it say? What does it say? It means the text. And second question you ask is, how does it say? What it says? How does it say what it says? The what is important and how is also important. But in reading rhetorically, our emphasis is more on how. Our emphasis is more on how. Now let's ask a question. Why do we emphasize on how more than what? The answer lies in the word rhetoric. The word rhetoric has two meanings. One, a negative meaning. In the negative sense, rhetoric means telling lies. Rhetoric.
Oh my God.
Rhetoric, right? Hello? Sorry for this disturbance. Hello? Hello? She realized I'm in class and she just dropped the phone. It happens. Yeah? Yeah. So one meaning of rhetoric is making false promises, trying to cheat people, telling lies. For example,